All right, and we're live on this side. Hello. Let me go post it elsewhere as well. Where are you going? Okay. Da, 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 da. Hi. What ba 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 da ba. Okay, hello. Welcome onto this side. It's the Burb. It's the Mambo. Wiggle that tail. Hi, Co-Gamer. Hello, hello, hello. So welcome to my side of the internet. We do things here. And I'm just posting in a few of my Discord. Yeah. Hi, Iris. Hello. How we doing? My next goal I just spun was working on Hisphacac, so I'm going to be on chapter 16, the final review of all that. That's super fun. What kind of things do we do differently here? Well, for one, we do chaos sprints with dice. None of this basic 15 to 20 minutes here. We roll dice and we let chaos decide everything. We are not bound by the constrictions of 5-minute increments. So, like, I roll my dice tower here. Well, that one says 13. And that one says 9. No, 14? 14. So that's a 27-minute sprint. That's what we do on this side. And hi, other Ian! Yeah, Bratty Birds. Bratty Birds unite. So I'm going to do myself now that Mercy's done. How about my cover art? Have you done that? Have you done that yet? Guess I'm working on Valentine's art, the boys in kimono. Or you can do my cover art. I'm just saying, you can do that. I was going to ask you about it earlier, actually. Alrighty. But since Hollow was going to be gone for about a half hour, I think a 27-minute sprint is totally fine to do. And she's going to poop. Poopy. There it goes. Catch the poop. Cool. Sure. Don't turn into my sister. Don't do it. All right. And I also put up a fancy timer. I do that. So Paula and I have slightly different styles on our respective channels. But yeah. So I'm going to be editing Hisphacac, which is, if you're new here, this is my newest book called Humane Society for Creatures and Cryptids. And I was in the middle of chapter 16. I was on Asha's POV. There it is. Let me get this a bit bigger here. But we're close because there's 18 chapters. And I have about 30 some odd pages left of final edits. And then I can actually start my query progress. Yeah. I'm very scared to start the query process, I will say. Very nervous. Yeah. I know you're just eyeing the almond jar, but you've had 3. You've had 3. You have. Couldn't comment on the Hisphacac doc. Oh! Weird. I thought I gave you... Wait, it says commenter. Anyone with a link can comment. It should work. Yeah, it should. I don't know why it doesn't. I'll send you another one, Ian, if you want. Maybe I'll change it to editor. You can do that. Okay. Maybe if you try the link again. Oh my God. If you try the link again, I changed it to editor and maybe that'll work. I broke. You really shouldn't be having a fourth freaking almond today. But yet. Are you even going to chew it? You're just going to... Do you want to go up? You want to chew up here? Yes. We want to get all the almond crumbles in your hair, of course. That's what we want to do, Mom. Woo! Cool. All right. Well, anyways, let us start off with a sprint, and eventually Hollow will return with us, and we can do stuff. So, let's begin. Almonds are great for hair, said the bird. Yeah. Yep, that's what she likes to do up there. Just sprinkle down almonds. Super great. All right. Here we go, everybody. Get ready to do your shit. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Begin. And we're back from the first sprint on this side. Hello. Did you want to say anything? You want to just go back up? Oh. And back.
Also back. With my backpack.
Okay. Hi, Snazzy.
Snazzy.
Ian's mad. Apple Music suddenly deleted the Yoshida Brothers.
Well, another reason why Apple sucks.
Yeah. You made the poop motion. Where did you go?
If we like that.
I don't know where she pooped.
Whew. We survived. We survived.
Hey, yo.
Hey.
I'm close to done with this art. And then we can work on a cover. Good.
Cool.
Oh, you're
One
still
of
it.
many.
That's why. Oh, no. We did have some.
I had to bring the massage gun.
The massage gun. I want one of those.
They are wonderful and painful.
Spotify is also the devil because it doesn't have my German goth Catholic techno. German goth Catholic techno. Wow.
So specific.
It is. I did finish researching all my music library and updating that.
Nice.
So that's a goal done. And I just finished editing chapter 16, or the final run through of Hispatax chapter 16. And now we are.
Isn't there only like 17 chapters?
18.
You're almost
I'm very close. I'm very close.
So close. You want a massage thunder? Me neither. Me neither.
So, like, for anybody who's reading this version of it, this is the version that my editor did look at. And then I've done a final run through of. So, yeah.
Is that loud? Is that loud for you guys?
Can't hear it at all.
Good, because all I hear is pain.
I don't doubt that it slaps. It's just not a genre I've ever heard of. Husband bought me a massage gun, but it's stick shaped and therefore impossible to use on my own back for myself. Gotcha.
I mean, that means he has to massage your back. That's basically what he committed to.
Yeah. It's in the fine print of your marriage contract. Yeah.
Yep.
You need something? You have a half hour to hang out before it's bedtime.
Whoa.
What do you want to do?
Oh my goodness. Don't get injured, guys. Don't do it. Just don't do it.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Stupid. He's stupid. What?
Take some aspirin.
We got ibuprofen, and I don't really know if it does enough. Like, it's so pinpointed that, like, it might help some of the pain go away, but right now, because it's being pinched, I can feel it in my face. Yeah, so I'm like, it's massage time and stretch time.
Oh, and he works out of town, so he's gone all week. Well, the moment he gets back, he's got work to do. Ian's also trying to track down the original Brokeback Mountain novella for research for the next book. And tell me why all the versions that don't have the movie cover are $100 plus. Homophobia. I'll tell you why. It's because they're rare now. It's not in print anymore without the movie cover. That's why. Oh, I will say, if you guys remember, and like my old wish list, there's a Pride and Prejudice retelling where it's where Lizzie accepts the first proposal. She like calms herself down and accepts it. And it's the story of what if she had done that and how would the events have changed. And it's always on Amazon. I've always seen it was like hundreds of dollars, and like it would fluctuate a little bit and get down to like maybe 80 or something. And I've always put it on like my birthday wishes and stuff, and like no one's ever bought it from me. but I was looking at my Amazon wish list again when I had my gift card,
Yeah.
and it went down to like $27. And I went, buy! So that's on its way here. I'm so excited to read this version.
Good thing that didn't happen during January.
Right? But yeah, and I had the gift card, so that helped. But yeah. It's called Unequal Affections. And I'm very excited, and I'm really hoping it's really good. And I'm like, this is probably like my, like, it is a 5-star prediction, and I will be devastated if it's bad. Yeah. Oh, hey, you managed to find a copy of Burbank that was 27 on eBay, and that's the magic number. Yeah. I honestly didn't know Brokeback Mountain was a book, to be honest. I didn't know. Yeah, huge. But let's look what it is now. Hold on, let me look up the book right now and see what it is.
Yay, 27s. All right, who else has got a third 27? Come in threes. Oh, man.
And now it's back up to 71. It is back up to 71. And for anybody who wants to know it, it is by Laura S. Ormiston. Why do I know this author name, though? Hold on. I know something else by her, don't I? I don't know. That just sounds like a very familiar name. But, yeah. It was published, you see, it's not even like a super classic or anything. It was published in 2014. So,
Limited.
I don't know why.
Limited.
But it's got 1,000,000 5 stars on here. And I just... although I will say immediately, I don't like this author profile. It says Laura S. Ormiston is a capital C Christian, wife, mother, and writer in that order. That I'm not a huge fan of. She was a daughter of missionaries. Oh no. Now I'm worried. I'm worried now.
Slowly, it all falls apart.
She lives in Texas. I'm scared.
At least it won't be erotica.
I'm hoping it's not. Well, I didn't read that. I know I had this book on my list for so fucking long, and seeing it that price. We'll see what she pulls through in this. I mean, Pride and Prejudice alone is not exactly like the epitome of unchristian stuff. Like Jane Austen was very Christian. That's the time period. So.
Yeah, everybody remember to hydrate.
It's just modern religious fanatics that we get a little worried about. Hi, welcome back. You're really just totally used to flying and doing whatever the hell you want now. I don't know if I need to check off Mambo flight training because, like, damn.
She flying.
She flying.
She flying.
I mean, the actual goal is for you to fly on command all the time. But we haven't really done a lot of full training. You're just kind of stubborn, doing whatever you want.
She flies.
But she definitely got her flight muscles back.
Mambos.
Hello.
Who's he? Monte. Welcome back. I'm here too. Again.
Welcome on this side.
Welcome to the other side.
You better not chew on that wall or you're going to bed early.
Oh.
You can chew on the apron. I don't care. That's fine.
My brain is.
I blocked the wall that she's been chewing on. That's that corner with the pillow. But now we've discovered we can sit on the pillow.
Oh.
Mambino.
Nope, that's the wrong.
The great Mambino. You want to go back? You want to go to bed early? Is that what you're actually trying to tell me? Okay. I'll be right back. Un momento.
Per favor. Oh, that ends exactly on the deadline. Yikes. Zoinks. We don't like that. We're going to delete those cells. No, we can't delete them because we're... Oh, goodness. Oh, she's gone, so I have to be doing something. Currently in Leather and Lace, we are watching a character thinking super grapey thoughts over an innocent female character. Very gross.
Okay.
Violate her goodness. Oh,
Baby's in bed.
Lovely.
Ew.
Lovely. Isn't that so romantic? So romantic.
Okay, so do we want to talk about it?
I mean, we can talk about stuff. I'm just looking for a sweater.
But do you want to talk about it?
It? E.g.?
No. Oh,
Oh,
EG?
yeah, we can do that.
Do you want to do that?
Yeah, let me get a sweater.
Do we want to have a roast session? Ladies and gentlemen and non-binary nobles, would you like to do so?
I mean, I think it can be fairly civil of a discussion. Because reading through the second half was much... The second half had more potential.
Sure. We'll say that.
Okay.
Potential. Sure.
Potential.
Ooh, Snazzy's tempting to finish work and finish Poppy War. I know, that's why I'm trying to finish Inheritance games, because my library alone's going to self-destruct soon. But I only have about 45 minutes left of it, so it's fine.
You'll get it.
Yeah.
You'll get it.
Should I pull up?
Yeah,
pull up
go ahead.
the,
Pull up the page so
cover.
everybody knows what we're talking about.
yeah.
We're gonna learn some stuff, guys. We're gonna learn. We're gonna learn today.
Pulling it up.
Pulling it up.
Pulling it up. Boop, boop. Pulling it up. Boop, boop. Pulling it up. Pulling it up. Pulling it up. Here we are.
All right.
Would you like to introduce it?
Sure. Since it was brought to me,
Yeah.
you need to show more.
This
Show
is your
more.
fault.
Show more.
Show more.
It says show more. I don't know if there is any more
Oh,
under the. Oh, there is more.
yeah.
So the book we shall briefly, or I don't know, who knows how long this will take, be discussing is The Elemental's Guardian by S.W. Rain. This is a new release coming out on the 16th.
Yep.
It was proposed to me or introduced to me as Sailor Moon meets Avatar: The Last Airbender. Do with that what you will. And then be disappointed. So, I'm sure you can read the blurb, but I will go ahead and just get you guys into the realm that we're entering into.
Yep.
Everything changed the day he ran into her with his jet, thousands of feet in the sky. Freelance pilot Ferenc Janos' life is turned upside down when Olivia Gillies, a woman who can control air and travel through lightning, tells him he's the guardian of the air elemental. Around the same time as her sudden arrival, masked figures have been appearing around the city with the ability to summon and control strange creatures. Their target, the homeless girl who happened to steal his wallet. Ferenc doesn't understand his new role or why he feels a strange need to protect her, but if he can't set aside his skepticism long enough to learn from Olivia, then a much more powerful threat could be unleashed onto the universe. Dun 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 dun. Done.
As you can see by this is my Goodreads, you can see what I rated it.
Mm-hmm.
This was not good.
It could have used a little bit more work.
Just for the beginning, like going in, I already hated this cover. Not even because it's a person on the cover, and it does do that standard stock photo with the blue purple, like very standard indie book right now.
Mm-hmm.
The fact, like his pose, and he's in fucking jeans and a t-shirt, just cracks me the hell up. It just seems so out of place. But like when you read it, like I guess I get it. I get it for what it is, but I hate it.
Expanding on that, it still gives me the impression it's just like a generic kind of stock photo cover. But even with that, and having him like having the wind powers around him, there's nothing engaging about the cover.
Nothing.
Because it's just a guy standing there with whooshy, and there's maybe a city in the background. Like I think that's supposed to be tall buildings.
Based on this cover, chat, where do you think this story is set?
Going to Miami.
Where do you think? I want to know what the chat thinks, because it's set not where I thought it was going to be set.
No, it's also not. Yeah, agreed. It was not set where I thought it was going to be set.
Nope.
I need to look. I need to take a close look at the cover too again.
Yeah, this cover tells me. So Monty says, Brooklyn, you're so wrong. We would all think around that because you think it's an urban fantasy.
Like New York.
You think it's New York. You think it's Chicago or something. No.
Click on the cover.
It's set in Florida. It's Shanghai. No. It is Florida.
Yep.
That was my first negative mark. I think, did I have a thing that says, why is this? Oh, no, that's my second mark. So I wrote chapter 1. I'm told this is urban fantasy, and I say urban fantasy, but his name is Farunk. Farunk? I was very confused about this name. This name is later somewhat explained. And then my second remark is, oh God, it's Florida. I'm not kidding. And then my third remark, because it does in the very beginning here, we say that he hits this woman with his jet. Thousands of feet in the sky.
Yeah.
Right? And so there is a crash in this. Like he does, in fact, do that. That's not incorrect. He says, for someone literally plummeting to their death, it's weird. 3 times he thinks about this woman. And it's not like I wonder what happened.
It's not like I'm gonna die.
It's this blonde woman kind of stuff, and you're just like, no.
We could argue, and I'm gonna play not necessarily devil's advocate because I'm not trying to defend the story, but I there's things that I may be stretching in my assumptions of what the author tried to do, and I did feel like I could pick some of those things out aside from your notes or like in relation to your notes. So we could assume maybe that because he has control over air and he was, plummeting to his death, there was enough of a subconscious clarity for him to have said thoughts because he was in the air and that's his comfy place.
I mean, that's fine.
Maybe
I don't think it was necessary for it to be 3 times.
I'm going to pretend I'm the author who did this on purpose and figure out why.
3 times?
Maybe not 3 times, though.
3 times. That's my, I get it if it's 1 time fleeting, because I get that the author is trying to establish this kind of innate connection between characters. 3 times is excessive when you're crashing. You're crashing.
You're going to die.
Yeah. So, yeah. There better be a magical gator. There are 0 gators.
Wouldn't that be great?
Gator count is 0.
There are.
You should be wearing flip-flops and an alligator. The magical Florida man and Ray-Bans.
Magical gator.
I'm sorry, but Florida is not where this story should have been set. Or it's not that I'm hating on Florida, really. I don't understand why it was Florida. I also don't understand why this man is named Farunk Llanos, living in Florida, when he's the only weird name. Now, his name is Hungarian, we find out.
Yes,
why
we do find that out later, but it's not
it's nothing. It's just
his family uber traditional. We don't get anything as to why that was.
We don't get his family background.
On,
why is he Hungarian? It's the anglicized version of his name is Frank, Why isn't he just Frank? He's a freaking pilot. I would believe a Frank in this situation than I do a Ferenc Janos. I don't believe that.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason. And every other name in this book is so basic. Except for Dormouse, but that's a whole other thing. That's a whole other can we'll open in a moment.
Can of worms.
See, that makes more sense. A stripper in Miami, Florida makes way more sense. This guy does not make sense.
No. Well, again, I'm going to do the stretch. What if it's and I don't know how many military or, Air Force bases there are, but it does sound like there's a lot of forts in Florida. So possibly.
But he's freelance, so it didn't even make sense. He's not actually part of that military outpost. That's why it's like, why Florida? And there are plentiful supply of, I've got 3 here in Colorado.
I was trying. Okay.
Yeah, I know. You can keep trying. It's not going to happen. So yeah.
I'm just saying where my thoughts went. I'm like, well, maybe.
So here we go. Then we get to chapter 2. Also, the chapters in this are very poorly outlined and very poorly organized. They cut off at bad points. They cut off mid conversations, and there's no reason for it, especially when there is not a POV change.
And it's a lot of times to insinuate tension, but then it happens on the next page.
It just doesn't
work that well.
Yeah. Okay, so then chapter 2. So this is me. I'm just getting used to this story. So I'm like, okay, does everyone have fancy names like Frank? No. Because then I get, okay, so she's the fantasy character, but her name is Olivia. Because in my assumption, because she came out of lightning, I did not associate her as being a human creature.
Me neither.
I thought she was like some god creature come to tell him, this is Luna and this is Sailor Moon. Okay, this is where I was thinking. But it's not. It's not.
No, it's not.
And then I'm like, or maybe she woke up with the powers, not clear yet. So I was very unclear about chapter 2. Now, so that's the first POV switch. We don't switch again for a long time. The POV switches are very unbalanced as well.
In the beginning, they switch a lot more after the halfway point.
They do, but they're still highly unbalanced, and there is one POV that doesn't need to be there at all.
Correct.
Chapter 3, this is where I've immediately started hating this character because he fucking forgot about his dog, and he will continue to forget about his dog. Why is the dog in the story? He just forgets about it. Yeah.
The dog was cool.
Yeah. And then I said, I think the point where he sits with the frozen peas, because from this crash, he has a broken clavicle. Remember that. Broken clavicle. And so he's sitting with frozen peas on him. This is when I would say this is the more realistic time to start reminiscing about the girl. That's when you have the moment to breathe and be like, what the hell actually happened? And then I have an edited line here where this author used "as" in a sentence 4 times. And I'm like, and there was an editor for this, and I'm like, get your money back right now.
When I read your note, I was like, what are you writing? I didn't realize that was a sentence.
Highlighting all the "as," even as her lively "oh no" interrupted that laughter as she chased a runaway volleyball before it got as far as the shore. That is a horrible sentence. And it hurt me. And then again, this man keeps forgetting about his dog, and it's pissing me off, is my next note. He keeps forgetting to let the dog out, feed the dog, take care of the dog, or that the dog is there. Piss me off. You don't deserve this dog, sir. And then chapter 4, smoking isn't sexy. I really hated that this character smoked. Really hated it.
I'd be curious to see if that comes into part of his elemental control later. Obviously, it didn't happen in this first book.
I hate it. I hate it. It's unnecessary, and I don't like it. I don't like it when a hero we're supposed to like this hero, and he has so many qualities that are very unlikable, and I don't root for him because I think he's a terrible person.
I mean, he might have been intended to be an unlikable person, but I don't think smoking makes him unlikable.
No, this man has been made for all the women to love. This is what this is. Yeah. Sorry, I hate smoking. I hate smokers. I don't hate smokers, but I hate the fact that smoking exists in this world. Both my parents smoke, and it's the reason I have asthma. It's the reason my previous bird probably died. There are so many problems. There's really nothing good about smoking, and I hate it. And I hate that I have problems breathing because of it. I would like to breathe like a normal person, and I can't because of fucking smoking. So whenever I see a character that is a smoker in a book, I want them to be the bad guy because I don't want, younger minds thinking, hey, that's cool to do. And I should do that because that's the hero and the hero smokes. I hate that message. It's not sexy. It's gross. It's gross.
I didn't mind it. I felt it was part of his character. He's an adult. And it like, because of his personality and temperament with how he has to have control over things, which did get annoying. But you can definitely see where him going to smoke is him taking that moment to like step away and have his moment in control of something. I thought it was well done with the. It felt like a lot, but then I'm like, okay, he's definitely an addict.
Yeah.
Like, he's a lot. He smokes a lot.
I felt it was unnecessary, and I didn't like it. I don't ever see a reason for it, in my opinion. But that's my personal preference. I fucking hate it. I hate smokers in books and in general when I have to deal with it. Like, I have my closest friends smoke, but usually they're kind enough to like not do it in my apartment, or like I'm going to go away and smoke. Like, I get that it's an addiction and stuff, but I've never been tempted by it. It has hurt my life. I don't like it. Sorry to everyone in the chat who smokes or has smoking characters. I see y'all in there. I'm not going to like those characters. I'll tell you right now. That's a no. That's a no from me. So then we get to this diner.
The diner. Cheesecake, anybody? Cheesecake and coffee.
This diner,
one and both,
is also just so stupid. I didn't like that we use the word waddled to indicate who the fat person is in the room. I hate that.
But if she is an overweight woman,
what?
To the point where she waddles, that is an accurate description.
I don't like the use of it though, because it's kind of, I don't want to say like, it's kind of a microaggression. Because she's an older lady. It's the only fat character in the whole book. And she is an old woman. And like, these characters in this diner are caricatures. They're not.
Absolutely. They were. Yeah.
And so you have fat old lady who takes care of him like a son kind of thing. And her grumpy husband, who's one of the 4 total real guy, there's very few guy characters.
He's one of the 4 who have lines.
A line. So I didn't like that. And I said, literally everyone has basic names except for Ronk. What the fuck? Because I think her name was Betty. And there's a Daisy. And a Lexi. And of course, her name is Lexi because she's the sexy waitress who flirts with him. And she's the sultry one who's in his thoughts, despite previously stating neither of them were interested. And yet we do focus on her appearance quite a lot. Every woman except for Dormouse and Olivia, and that's borderline, is a character. We have the evil ex, we have fat grandma and slutty waitress, and then Daisy, who's also just generic waitress. So, and I wrote, and her name is Lexi because she's obviously sexy. And then in this scene, he darts off because he thinks he sees Olivia, the girl he hit with a jet. He runs off. Sir, you have a broken clavicle.
You ain't running anywhere.
There are so many times we forget he has a broken clavicle. You're not running. You're not waving your arms around. You're not doing this. This is not happening. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry. I was congratulating Snazzy's husband for quitting.
Good. I'm very happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yes, you can. Waddling is a very fat-phobic way of describing someone. It absolutely is. I can see
But
Waddle.
it's a descriptive
for being
way of
sore.
walking.
What?
I want to put a pin in this. I understand all that controversy, but in writing, we want to be more descriptive with our verbs. If you say they walked, moving side to side or however, like you have the better verb of waddling.
Here's the better word that should have been used for this character because she is an old lady. Shuffled.
You could say hobbled.
Waddled is specifically like how, and like, yeah, if it was a pregnant woman, yes, but the character is not a pregnant woman.
But they could still walk like a pregnant woman.
But this character is not. This character
we
is
don't know that. She could have been picturing a pregnant old woman.
But that's not what the character is.
But she could have that type of belly that makes her waddle.
But using it in that context, that's the problem. Because I am a fat woman. And so when you're using these words, they have effects on the readers around them. So describing a character like that who is not a pregnant woman or something, there are better words to use. Our word choices matter.
Well,
and the waddle one can be a very fat phobic word. And especially because there is no character building with this character. Her characteristic is she is old and fat. That is all we get from this character. That's a problem. There are instances where you can use this word, sure. This was not a great time to use it because there is none of the other younger women are larger. All the other younger women in this are attractive in some way to our main man. That's the issue. Respectfully, you're not Ian, you might want to listen rather than trying to defend you something that others said is hurtful. It's hurtful to me when it's used.
I get it, but I'm just saying it's not. I wouldn't say all fat women waddle, but
it's the insinuation.
Yeah, I get it.
So that's what I had. I really, and it's weird because this author is a woman. And just the way that she is writing women is very weird to me because they are all such caricatures of it's caricatures of different archetypes of women. And I was very baffled by that throughout this whole story.
Yeah.
Very much so. Okay. Chapter 5, unbalanced in POV switches again. Did we go back? I forget what chapter 5 who had. Oh, yeah, no, we're still in Ferenc's point of POV. And then he was referencing another accident, but there was no context since he just had an accident, so that was very confusing. And then so we meet Dormouse in this chapter. I was very confused by Dormouse's age and also the time period because she says, "Hey, Mister."
Yeah, is it the 1920s?
Mister. Yeah, what is this New York 1920s? And I thought she was a child because of the way she talks. And Dormouse pickpockets him because then he's suddenly missing his phone. He does not assume that she takes it. It takes him a while to gather that info, which is also like this man is not intelligent. Right. But he decides to go home without even looking for his wallet and phone. I thought his phone also disappeared, but we never talked about that again. He's just assuming it's at the diner. And I'm like, you're just there.
Left it there.
Buy and go check, and it's not there. You would have figured this out a lot sooner, my dude. And then again, so many times we drift or shift back to the women in this story.
Didn't he just throw money out of his wallet when he left?
Yeah.
So I'm like, didn't you have your stuff?
Yeah.
You dropped it somewhere else, maybe. That probably was an editing miss. That would be an editing miss.
Yeah. Yeah. So chapter 6, all I wrote was sentences in here need editing. She squeaked as she gasped.
Yeah. That's a hard thing to duplicate.
Yeah. Yeah, she squeaked, she gasped, she did, it was all that. Chapter 7 had an unnecessary chapter division, should have combined it in 6. So they think Dormouse is a weird name, but his name is Ferenc is my next comment.
Frank.
Like,
Rolling that R.
why? Like, I wanted to know why she was named Dormouse. We never learned why. And I feel like it was also just a bad decision. Like, did she give herself that name? Because Dormouse is a doormat, in my opinion, in this whole characterization.
Dormouse, unfortunately, does not.
Traumatized. We don't really know why she's traumatized. Like, I thought we were going to get backstory where she was like abused and beaten and stuff. That made more sense to me. That's not why she's meek and stutters and scared of people touching her and stuff.
No, unless we're missing something in that translation, because that backstory was like
you saw something bad happen, and that's it.
Yeah, that's coming up though. That's coming up because it's not at all explained. She literally referred to some third person off screen, never gets a name, is like they overdosed, and it's like who? Coworker, maybe.
Yeah, and then again, I made a note of like I thought he lost his phone too, but he had his phone all of a sudden. That was confusing. And then he says this line. He's like, he wasn't trying to come off as creepy or desperate, but boy, was creepy.
He was so creepy. And the fact that he kept repeating the line, like something like along lines, "I'm not trying to pressure," like
it's that same context of when a guy is like, I'm not a bad guy. I'm a nice guy.
Like, if you have to say this, you're suspicious. You don't trust you.
And Chad, I'm sorry that the fat thing really set off some stuff in here. It's just, that's my opinion of it. I don't like having that word as the sole descriptor of a character. It's my notes. These are my opinions on it. You can disagree. That's fine. I just really didn't like that. I don't like that when it's in here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes, and then constantly restating info that we already know. Again, how old is Dormouse? He calls her a woman, but she acts like a child. She's described looking very small and stuff, and it was indicating everything about her was at least a teenager. Ferenc is attracted to literally every woman that talks to him for more than 5 minutes. He this man could not think of a woman any other way, which is very shocking from a female writer.
To be fair, compared to some other books like, I don't know, Guns and Smoke, at least he wasn't like
wanting to bang all of them,
sexually thinking about all of them. Like, he was, it was kind of that weird, like, I wanted him to be a cowboy because of the way he talked about certain lines. I was like, maybe you're just a cowboy who just like is nice to all these ladies. But he wasn't a cowboy.
No.
Also, like,
he was just constantly kind of aesthetically appraising them, and no. And then chapter 8, we're finally back to Olivia's POV. So it takes 7 chapters to get us back to her.
Didn't she is chapter 8 when she goes to the library?
I don't even remember her going to a library, to be honest.
Because I thought it was like 3 or 4. It was a random like, I'm going to go search these libraries and figure out where all the forts are, but I have to use the public internet.
I think that might be this chapter here.
Okay.
Maybe. So here's the thing. I didn't realize we were in a flashback because almost a bigger offense, the sword and shield. Oh, this is the offense. So you guys know I hate the line, they let out a breath they didn't know they were holding.
Yes.
Right. This is an almost bigger offense. The sword and shield she didn't know she was holding clattered to the ground. I was like, what? How do you not know you're holding a sword and shield?
She slipped into a flashback.
I wrote the note before I made that context.
Yeah.
And I did give the author props for knowing the difference between blonde and blonde, one spelt with an E, one spelt without an E. Mm-hmm. That was props to them for knowing that. Although I'm their editor. Who knows?
I have a little lantern hanging on the side of my desk because it has nowhere else to go, and it bumped into my tripod.
Gotcha.
Which also has nowhere else to go. So apparently those are bad spots to put both. Where are you going? Okay, proceed.
Okay.
Sorry for the distraction, but Snazzy got
Sorry, I have
chocolate.
a lot of notes. And now I'm...
hello.
All right, chapter 9. Here we go. Once again, we didn't need another chapter break. And then we finally learn his name is Hungarian. But why the hell is he at the beach? Why is he there? It makes no sense. So we're still in Olivia's POV at this point, and she runs into him. Why is he there? He didn't make any note about going to the beach. He was supposed to be going home and resting the goddamn broken clavicle. Why are you
They do mention it later, which is too late, because he's like, I wanted to get some fresh air or something.
Yeah.
And you're like, would have been nice if you had ended your chapter with that thought, at least.
Yeah. Why is he suddenly there? Like, I thought she was running into some other character for a second, and then like, oh, no, it's him.
Retroactively explain things like that.
I also wrote, is Olivia ace? Because she makes a comment about not feeling that way for people, but she was like saying romantic or platonic, and I was very confused. There's no confirmation throughout this book if Olivia is an ace character.
Olivia's very hyper focused on this like feeling, which she has no one to explain to her, but constantly she's impulsive too. And
yeah,
oof.
That makes sense. And then I wrote the amount of M dashes and ellipses. Like, they have their place. Don't overuse them. And then this is where I was like, okay, I looked up the name Ferenc, and it means free man, and he's a freelance pilot with air magic, and his last name means God is gracious in Hungarian. Again, we never find out why he's Hungarian in Florida. Why? I don't, and there's no family, there's nothing. Okay, chapter 10, we are back to Ferenc. He still has a broken clavicle, and yet we are threatening mystery men in silver masks. Smart. You're not a threat, sir. You have a broken clavicle. I was very confused by the description of the beasts, I'll say. And then I wrote, this is so slow. Chapter 11, first note, he doesn't deserve a dog. Also, he used its as a pronoun for the dog. And it made no sense to use its because we already established, that the dog is a girl.
Yep, 10 chapters in.
Several chapters in, we know that this is a girl. So the weird switching of she to its all the time was very strange. Also, I quoted, straightened and wagged her tail excitedly is not actually a happy dog behavior. If they're straightening like that, that is tension. Okay, that's not happy excitement. So that's just dog trainer me being very picky.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, it is not. He talks about the flashback. So the dog's name is Max. It's a girl. Apparently, when he adopted this puppy with his ex-girlfriend, they didn't know if it was a boy or a girl. It is not hard to determine the sex of an infant dog. It is not a bird where you need a blood test. It's a dog. You know. So that was stupid as hell. That was just the dumbest fucking thing.
We've known. So.
Sorry. I have so many notes about the dog care in this. And then I said that this chapter was completely unnecessary as well. Asking someone for what they want for breakfast is not small talk, for one. That's a genuine question. Small talk is the weather nice. That's small talk, sir. Then we move on to chapter 12. The phrase his mind replayed is used so freaking often in this book.
Mm-hmm.
Constantly, this man's mind is replaying. Like, we get it. We read that chapter. We know what happened.
Did we want to keep the book cover thing up?
I don't care. I mean, if you want to, so people know what we're talking about.
I keep looking back and seeing it and getting distracted.
Okay. And then where did I go? Oh yeah. I really can't tell how old Dormouse is. Is he attracted to her? She seems so young, is my next one. Chapter 13, again, she knows nothing of the bad guys following her, and the whole who knows how far their power extends line makes no sense. Because if you don't have any context, why would you assume they have so much power if they've only been in the shadows sort of there? You don't know them. They haven't made a move on you before. You are making so many assumptions that make absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
Who knows how far their power extends? How would you know? You didn't go to the police the first time. Should have done that. Should have figured out how far their power actually goes.
Mm-hmm.
You're just making wild assumptions for no reason. How many chapters are there?
For being as
9.
He's very analytical. He's supposed to be. He's
not.
Anally analytical with a lot of things.
He's really not, though. He just accepts a lot.
He's not, because more like once he has to start tapping in, he's just rage about everything, and it's very bipolar.
He's not an analytical person. He is not a logical person.
No.
Nothing he does makes sense.
He literally, he's just like, I have to research this.
But then he doesn't. He doesn't.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
There's nothing on there.
And then again, constantly moving with his broken collarbone. Chapter 14 is now the third Olivia chapter, and all I wrote was innuendos. That's all I wrote.
When she heals him?
What?
When she heals him the first time?
Yeah, there's a lot of was it good for you too? And then she just leaves. Chapter 15. So Olivia just left. She went to talk to him about this elemental stuff. Helps heal his broken clavicle. Not entirely, by the way. It is only a little bit healed. She can't do it right all the way.
Mm-hmm.
And then she leaves. Why would you leave? What? Why? It made no sense for her to leave. Because she's just going to come back and do exactly what she was supposed to do the first time.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Sense. And then this whole court hearing thing makes absolutely no sense. I get why later, but it still logically does not make sense because they were not married. There is no actual legal reason why he should ever have to appear in court for an ex-girlfriend. There's no reason because he wasn't abusive. He didn't hit her or anything. There's no reason. They legally did not have any joint shit other than the dog. And this court thing was not even about, we don't even hear the dog thing. So that whole side plot is so dumb. It doesn't make sense. I get the path that our writer was trying to do, but it doesn't make sense. Make her an ex-wife. That will make more sense.
Yeah.
Just change it. Change one thing, and suddenly the court stuff makes sense. And yet he still loves her.
That was rough. I was like, dude.
No. Because then he trash talks her all the time. And just like Amy is just literally the crazy ex stereotype. He still loves her, but of course, she's marrying the lawyer. Great. Cool. And then she says to him, it's none of your business who I'm with. And like, then why you keep calling him to court?
Mm-hmm.
If you want, I'm going to put a restraining order on you. It's like, you're the bitch that entered his home right now. You're literally the intruder.
Saw that like miles away. I'm like, no.
And the thing is, for this comment, we don't. We never actually go to court.
Nope.
He misses his court date.
We go to the lawyer's office.
We go to his office. Yeah, we don't actually go to court.
We break things.
And then he punches a glass door. So yeah, he's super logical and calm. Chapter 16. Dormouse was a primary care nurse. How old is she? How old is she?
At this point now, she has to be in her early 20s at least. At least. But I don't even know how old Farron is. We don't get ages.
He says he was explaining why he punched the door, and he says he was angry at himself. Like, no, you were angry at Amy. And seriously, these chicks can't stay around and form sentences for pointless suspense. They just don't. All of them keep leaving for no reason. It's so annoying. We are back to Olivia in chapter 17, and these abilities are such cop-outs. Is there even a difference between a guardian and an elemental? And she has to leave again.
Mm-hmm.
Just constant leaving. Chapter 18, without any practice or theory, he can shoot lightning now. Lo and behold, lawyer is a bad guy. That's an old ass trope. Chapter 19, I literally only wrote blah. Uh,
I know. I laughed at that. I was just like, oh.
Nothing to say because it's just blah. I don't think that. I think I do that again. Actually,
I think it was just him and Dormouse talking.
Yeah, it was pointless stuff.
Sounds about right.
Chapter 20. Her paranoia seems so unwarranted, and we've had the same conversation so many times. Something inside me that says you need a helping hand is a bullshit plot device, and I hate that plot device.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Chapter 21. Last chapter was unnecessary. Pointless scene. Of course, Dormouse can't cook. Because naturally, a capable primary care nurse could not cook. Chapter 22. Richard gets a POV?
And that's the biggest mistake.
Why? Why?
Right. Sorry.
This is the evil lawyer, by the way.
Yeah.
I wrote, this chapter should never have existed. It gives away the true baddie and everything and ruins what little suspense there is.
Mm-hmm. And the only reason I can think of the author doing that is because you get very basal explanations of like the plot, but sort of the scope of, you still don't get the difference between like an elemental and a guardian. You don't get that. You don't get like, is there a history or is there something coming up? But you do in his second POV, which yes, he gets a second one at the end. He explains more about stuff that's like, this is where you need the mentor character or something. Have another explain more.
That's why Olivia shouldn't have been in the dark, because she was supposed to be the mentor, but she's a mentor with no info.
Yeah. She's like,
That's
I don't know what's going to happen. I just feel this tug.
Okay. I'm not going to lie. Like, I do sometimes enjoy seeing a villain POV. The fact he gets a POV twice this entire book. So it didn't make sense to have it.
Yeah.
I like a villain POV when it's done right. This is done wrong. Let's see. Chapter 23. We're back to Olivia. They're at home, but where is the dog? Now we've forgotten the dog even exists. Cool. And then Frank deciding for Dormouse. He's deciding things for her. That's toxic. Red flag. Chapter 24, back to, still in Olivia. Master air manipulation first. You're literally doing air manipulation. Because he wanted to learn to levitate. That's air manipulation. I don't know what you think it is, but it's air manipulation. And she's telling him to master that. Master your entire skill first before you try this one skill. That's dumb.
Specifics.
So we tried one time. We tried one thing, and then we go home from this training session. Cool. Olivia apparently just up and left her job and everything behind, because that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And then Dormouse is confessing to something. She confesses to what she saw. And all she says is she overdosed in the supply closet. Who? We never find out.
No.
Who is this person? Were you close to them? Were they
probably the most engaging question of the book?
Who? Yeah.
Just like, who overdosed?
I said Dormouse's homelessness seems really poorly developed, and her trauma responses make no sense if she wasn't abused. She just saw someone die, which is
and she traumatic. Has no. It's really not clear how much she knows about what she can do.
Yeah,
because it doesn't seem like she knows anything.
Doesn't know anything.
But then once she uses her powers a couple times, and it sounds like she told Olivia something. Like,
yeah, I'm very confused by this.
Off the page.
Because Dormouse's trauma responses, which would be very accurate. For like, because she doesn't want anyone touch her. She spooks very easily. She gets scared by loud noises and stuff. Those all indicate abuse.
Mm-hmm.
But we never hear anything about that. The only traumatic thing that has ever happened to her is as a primary care nurse, she saw someone overdose.
Yeah.
That's it. And that's why she ran off and became homeless. Those don't connect.
No.
We're missing a lot here. And if there is nothing else in that, this is bad. Very badly done. Just bad. Just bad. someone trying to escape the book. Chapter 25. There is so much focus on fire when they are air in the training stuff. Feel the heat. Feel the flames. I'm like, I get that air and fire have connections, but are you sure? We should have done fire elemental. We should have just done that. For all the ways that we're talking about it. Yeah. And then one of the lines was, can you stop being super smart? And I'm like, in no way is he any way smart just because he knows how a lighter works.
I mean, it's a small level of smart. It's not a super smart.
It's not super smart.
But it's sarcastic, I think.
Yeah.
Also,
this is the other flaw.
She controls air.
Yeah.
He controls air.
Yeah.
Yet he is the elemental's guardian, right?
Right.
Who the heck is she?
Who the heck is she?
What is she? Because it doesn't sound like there is. This is an avatar, clearly, because like I don't see a bunch of manipulators out there, if we want to call them that. I don't know. But the whole time, and she does like, or at least the author writes it so she's aware that she doesn't know what her purpose is. But it's like, but you got the same element as him. And when we get to the end, I'm going to talk about,
How is she not the guardian? Why is he the guardian?
Exactly.
Why does she have to stick around? What's
like it would have been more interesting if she was Dormouse's guardian and then he was actually in charge of fire or something.
Yeah, something.
But no, I'm like, my suspicion, I still don't know who she is, but my suspicion is the second book is going to be a different group. Like, we're not going to have Ferenc or Dormouse in there, but she's going to, like, find more people, and then they'll, like, reunite in book 3.
Too bad I'll never know, because I don't care. I don't care about the series at all.
I'm just saying.
I will not be reading it. Chapter 26, blah, I skimmed on board, is what I wrote. Chapter 27, Olivia, making shit up as she goes. Mm-hmm. Chapter 28, he fucking remembers he has a dog.
Yay, dog.
Fucking remembered, and then immediately forgets. Olivia acting like she already knows Ferenc's emotions and patterns. You barely know this man. You can't just insert yourself into every situation. Look in the mirror, Ferenc. That's his line. He says to Olivia, sir, you keep inviting a homeless woman into your home. Mm-hmm. You want to talk about not inserting yourself into every situation?
Right. Yep.
Again, Olivia, weird flirtation. There's that. You were saying?
Always. Well, he has to be in control of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We move to chapter 29. Cheap conversations attempting to show character growth, but it's so flat. Chapter 30, we're back to Olivia. The one dark-skinned man is a bad guy bodyguard. Too small of an appearance to tell, but that's the first POC character in this entire book so far. And we are in Florida.
Florida, where people are tan, except our main character is white.
Yeah, every other character is white in this book.
I think Olivia
is blonde.
I thought she was bleach blonde.
Oh, she's blonde, I know that.
But I thought she had. I don't know.
I don't recall any indication of her having any other skin color other than white.
Oh, I kept picturing her as Latina.
Never indicated at all. And her last name being Gillies, that's one letter off of me. She white. Exactly how many Cubans in Black Poseidon live in Florida? And this is the one, and of course he's on the bad guy side. So that's just really poorly chosen. Chapter 31, the action scenes are so confusing, and 100% this defibrillator scene on the stormy beach was the scene for this author. The "don't you dare leave me" trope line killed me. I'm sorry.
It's don't you dare leave me. That's a threat.
Don't you dare leave me. I'm a stormy. This is the scene that, like, every author has that scene when you're creating a book and you have this one scene that you're visualizing in your brain that looks so epic and amazing. That's the scene for this author. I know that. I can guarantee that. Then they say the line, if the fiance's firm is involved, they know where I live. So naturally, it's reasonable to go back to investigate and not avoid that place like the plague. Sure. Chapter 32, I guess that was supposed to be romantic, question mark? There's a scene, I guess, between Ferenc and Dormouse. Very confusing. I forget
it's
it.
Weird. It's weird because we don't really see anything from Dormouse.
Yeah.
We just get Ferenc's forceful feelings.
Yes. And it's uncomfortable as hell.
It's
he's still questioning if this is real after literally electrocuting people. So that's cool. Mr. Analytic is going to smash doors and faces, apparently. He's super smart, guys. Did you know he's super smart and very analytical and logical? I didn't know if you knew that. In case we didn't tell you enough, he is. Chapter 33, we're getting to the end, guys, I promise. If it's so early, it's early in the morning. If it's so early, why is Amy at her fiance's office? Wouldn't they be together this early? Wouldn't they be in bed or something if it's so goddamn early in the morning?
Was she in the office?
She went because he went to the office and she showed up in his office.
She was on a receiver.
No, she was there.
But he said he put the receiver down.
In. No, that's the receptionist. She walked into the office and saw him. And now Amy is in on it.
Earlier. What?
No, she walked in.
I thought she was like, I don't know anymore. Yes, the answer is yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because she ended up on the moon.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, because this is where we end up going to the Moon Kingdom. And I was like, here's to say the moon part, but it's a trap. Despite it, he still loves Amy is still some bullshit. But yeah, Amy is in on it now for some reason. Sure.
I think she's just gonna fight whatever. Like, I don't think she's in on it.
She's she's partially in on it. I think it was the way it was written, it made me think that she knew the whole time, but she doesn't. She's manipulated by this lawyer. That's what we do find out in his POV is like he took the time to,
he called her.
Yeah. What?
He called her. She wasn't in the office. He called her.
Why?
Because his gaze settled on the phone in Richard's desk. He marched over. It took a few tries to figure out how to dial out, but he managed. So it's like, did he just call her?
I thought she walked in on him. In the office.
He called her from the office, and then when he got to the moon, she was already there.
That's why it doesn't make any sense. I thought she followed him through. It's okay. So this is just very confusing writing.
Sounded millions of miles away, for the record.
At this point, I was really just trying to finish this fucking book because I hated it so much. Where am I at? Chapter 34. This chapter was so dumb. Dormouse is a doormat and does nothing ever. I'm so sick of this. Dormouse literally does nothing. Just does nothing.
She does.
Chapter 35. Amy is a monster? Purify the air. This is the first time we learn Amy has curly hair, and yet she's still a bitch.
That's not the first time. Not the first time.
What?
In the first description of Amy, he described her with curly hair, tan skin, and freckles.
I'm
just saying.
Where was that? I don't remember.
I'm not gonna look for it. Don't make me look for it.
And then I said, yeah, and yet she's still a bitch. Even though her fiance turned her into a literal beast, she's still on his side. So that makes sense. And I said, this whole book is a Disney Channel original movie, but with adults.
Rude.
It is.
No, it's worse. This is a B movie.
I think the reason I'm saying it's a Disney Channel original movie is because of the it's got the elements things. It's trying to be this cool fantasy thing.
It's a CW. Don't you
No,
put
because
Disney
it's
on
not
this.
sexy enough. CW got to have all the sex.
It's baby CW. What do you want from me?
It's Disney Channel. That's why.
It's not Disney enough. I
It's
would have
like
enjoyed it
adult.
more.
It's like the people who want Disney, like who grew up watching Disney, or grew up the Disney Channel original movies, and then grew up as adults, but did not change any ideas about it except to age up the characters. That's my opinion.
Ferrence does not give me Disney original stuff.
I'm not saying him as a character. I'm saying the elements of the story, the basic plot line. That's what I mean by
There's
it.
no plot.
Yes.
No.
It's it is because you have like the mentor and he has to learn, and let's do a fighting training sequence, but it lasts one scene, and it is very tame in the romance department, which is very Disney Channel. And like just the constant I have powers kind of thing. It's that element of it. Yeah, maybe Wizards of Waverly Place if Wizards was made Netflix. That's fair.
If Wizards was made by Netflix?
Yeah, if it was upgraded into a Netflix show.
But Wizards of Waverly Place was way better than this.
CW has to have a lot more like sexy someone sleeping with someone drama. That's what makes CW.
Not the early CW.
No.
Like when it had like Supergirl on it and stuff.
Oh, are you kidding me?
No, I didn't watch
that.
It.
Was that's very CW.
But this had way more like leaning toward that with Lexi and with Olivia and Ferencz's questionable male dominance. Like, just saying.
That's what I'm saying. It's for adults.
But it's not digital.
It's the basic plot, basic world building of a Disney Channel original movie.
Those have way more plot.
Honey.
Yes, Twitches, even
so basic. Oh my God, Twitches is I love Twitches, but that's actually a perfect example for this. It has very, very little world building in it. Very, very surface level, very basic.
It's urban fantasy. What do you expect?
A lot more.
All right. Well, the chat can agree or disagree, but I'm saying it does not have Disney original channel movies.
That's how I read it. From my experience of what movies I've seen of Disney Channel original movies, like Twitches.
Halloween Town? You gonna do that?
I'm not saying Disney Channel original movies are bad. Okay? I love them.
I'm saying this wasn't good enough for anyone.
They're not masterpieces of plot and development.
No, but
and that's what I'm saying about this one.
They had comedy. This doesn't qualify.
This tries.
I didn't say this was didn't make the cut.
I didn't say it was a good one. I said that this is God, the children.
Well, go ahead, chat. Does this feel like CW just without some sexy time? Or does it feel like
No, sing it. Okay. Nope. Being accosted by children. See, okay, I loved Halloween Town. I loved a lot of them. It's a great city, but is it a great city? But the city is great. Well, can't argue with that. So all I'm saying is that it's on a budget. It's on a budget.
Yeah, that's why it's a B movie.
No!
It's Ice Spiders. This is Ice Spiders.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, because it's a B movie.
Okay. Moving on, chapter 36. We're back to the bad guy. And his line, this is the best line of the whole book. And not everything needs to make sense. That's the theme of the book. Amy's B shit is magnified by the moon for some reason, because that's what the moon does. Sure. Makes sense.
Yeah, that.
Oh, I had another blah chapter. Chapter 37 is another blah. Chapter 38, why are the climax chapters so boring? Guys, I'm not opening the door. Chapter 39. Despite these chapters being POV directed, there's a lot of other people's thoughts that sneak in. Dormous's real name is a barely notable moment, and the real name is Alexis. We already have Alexi.
It was just, yeah, we already have Alexi, but it was also like
it was nothing. It was a
presented to
non-moment.
us from Dormouse. It was just like the last chapter, and like, oh, I'll let Alexis know you're here, and you're like, that's not how you tell me her name.
No. And then last 2 notes. So Olivia spent a week on the moon and didn't find the fire elemental. And then apparently there's a mention of a lunar prince. $20 says it's Ferenc.
I don't think it is because he's got the wind powers.
I
She's
don't
gonna
care.
go find the lunar prince in the second book, and they're
Ferenc.
gonna fall in love.
$20 says it's Ferenc.
Okay, I'll wager a book on that.
$20.
But you're not gonna read the next book. How are you gonna know?
You're gonna have to read it for me.
Damn.
But $20 says it's Ferenc.
It has to come out within a year then.
We'll see.
This,
And those
this
are all my
bet
notes
has
of how much I
a
did not like this
1 year
book.
standing.
The children bother me because the children want to be on YouTube. Yeah. Yep.
Yup.
They're children. That's why. My neighbors are children. So yeah. There's nothing wrong with B movies, especially if you like jazz. See, I enjoy a B movie for what it is. The problem with this is that the reason I'm like, it's the quality is so bad. You can't. It's done so seriously that it loses the humorous quality of a B movie. What do you mean? I gave it 5 stars. But yeah. You have any other notes you want to mention about this book?
I
know I was
my biggest issue was pacing because I've read worse books.
Oh, I have 2. I got 2 stars.
Yeah. I could see where they were going with it. It just wasn't engaging
It's
enough.
not ready for
and I
publishing.
think because it was the premise I was given was very different from what we got. It was spending the first half slogging through it, trying to see Avatar or Sailor Moon or something to like snatch me. But if I was a person who DNF'd within the first 50%, I would have not finished it.
Mm-hmm.
And I could have not finished it since you gave me all the notes, but I'm glad I did read it because like I can see how things were actually worded. And so I'm like, okay, I see what you're trying to do. And I think that's my biggest take is like, I see what you were trying to do, but we're not all the way there.
I don't think this book should not release. It's not ready. This book is just not ready. 1, they need to get a refund from their editor. I don't know who their editor is. I saw them doing a live and they were saying, this is the editor. And I'm like, oh, I can't be on this live right now. Can't watch this because I was kind of hoping there hadn't been an editor. And now that I know there was, I'm like, did you get a friend to edit this who is not actually an editor? I don't know. But that's what the editing of this book leads me to believe because it is not well edited.
Yeah.
There's a lot of work that needs to be done on this book.
And I have another book by this author. I have the one that I bought. So I have a physical copy of it. Or we actually exchanged books. We exchanged. So I'm curious to see if the style is consistent. Because the other one is like steampunky air pirates. So we'll see. We'll go from there. But I don't know. Like,
I don't read steampunk often, but the ones I've read, I have not had a good time with. I will say.
I mean, steampunk for me is more visual than anything, so I don't know what to
it's
expect.
very hard to do it literally. Yeah. Just from what I heard of you two is that there was a lack of direction and the story bounced around a lot without reason. Instead, it sacrificed coherence for a failed attempt at being epic and cool. And oh my god, I would have never expected that. That's so cool. And even if the plot was bad, there was not enough world building to keep it from crumbling. Yeah, and I would say just underdeveloped in all essence, in character, magic system, world building.
I think the largest flaw in this attempt to like keep things mysterious was not having a character know what's going on. Not a single
nobody knew a damn thing.
And it's okay if you have that mystery for a while, but we as readers expect to get a grasp on something.
It makes me think, does the author know what's happening? Do you know? Why
certain phrasings, I question that as well. And I hate to just say you don't know what you're doing, but it's a weak attempt at keeping things ambiguous and mysterious, especially when certain things that should have been were very blatantly like, yeah, we know that's the bad guy. Oh, he gets a POV, he's definitely the bad guy. Like,
yeah.
The misdirection was misdirected.
Yeah, it's just like you saw, I have so many notes for this, and it's just very poorly done.
And a lot of time, literally in chapters, were spent him taking care of Dormouse.
Yep.
And I don't think it's supposed to feel like.
Too.
Yeah, it was the same thing over and over, and it didn't balance well with the scope of what you want out of the stories. Because I don't want to say 50%, but it felt like half the book was him and Dormouse, and whether that was intentional to.
And the other half was his mind replaying.
And then throwing lightning.
Yeah.
If it's hard to say if that was an attempt at slow burn romance, because I don't know. I still don't know if they're romantically involved or if that's the intention. I
just realized my Twitch stream is probably on Phasmophobia.
Even with all of their time spent together, there was no real development. I mean, aside from her slowly becoming more comfortable around him, but there wasn't correlation between that and the story. And then there, I guess it still feels very static.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like I got much further after reading 191 pages.
Nothing happens. It's just not a good book.
The ending of this book should have been the midpoint.
Yeah.
We should have trimmed a lot of it and then had this as the midpoint, because now we're at least, we would have our inciting incident more around when he starts like working with his powers, maybe a little before that.
Mm-hmm.
Or, when Olivia shows up and like, you're an elemental. No, you're the guardian, sorry.
And she should have known what the hell was going on.
Then
Someone
get some
should have
training,
known.
because he didn't get enough training to warrant what he could do.
Yes. They trained one time for 5 minutes.
Well, that's when they went home, but they went back and they kept training. They did keep training. They did. That was the Blah chapter.
Was it training?
It was him making fire in a box and almost burning.
And that's it.
Well, then they played tag, and she went up to the roof.
Right. Right.
We have to have a fun and games. So I think pacing is pacing. Pacing is the big thing.
Yep. Sorry. Yeah, it's just.
But that was it.
That was
That was it.
Now, a book that is really good that's coming out later this month is called Surviving Daybreak by Kendra Merritt, and that was excellent.
Excellent.
You want to talk high suspenseful stakes? You want to talk really fun, creative, very well-developed characters, really cool creatures, very high-intensity climax. Perfect. Like, it's freaking great. Absolutely great. Surviving Daybreak. I believe it comes out on the 28th. Go pre-order it right now. Very, very fun book. Absolutely 100% loved it.
You
Yeah.
love all her stuff so far.
I do. And that's why I was worried, because I've read fantasy from her. This is her first sci-fi. So I was like, oh God, I hope. And I just loved it. I devoured this book. It's so fun. It has so many good lines. I love our Annika. I feel like I'm Annika. And there's always the thing with Kendra, she always has disability rep. She makes it a point to do that for all of her like main characters because she herself is disabled. So we still get that, and we get this awesome, smart, disabled girl who is trying to survive on this alien planet alone, just with this AI in her arm, because they all have these wake up AI things. And just her struggle for survival. And like Kendra literally said that she woke up every day and thought, how can I ruin Annika's day? And you can see that like it's just this planet that's trying to kill her. And she's like against all odds, but logically, it's not like plot armor or anything. Logically, she's doing stuff. Like she actually breaks her other arm, and we know that. But it's not like she's suddenly climbing trees. She has a full cast on it. She's taking care of it. You know, smart things. It's well done. It's well crafted. Beautifully crafted, and the arc of it is beautifully crafted, and still like it's one of those where like we still don't know what happened because there's supposed to be these other colonists. We don't know exactly if they are still alive out there. We're still left with that cliffhanger for the next book, because this book is more about her survival and trying to survive this big event that's going to happen. And so we still have that suspense and mystery without that answer, but it works so well. Really, really well executed book. I found one singular typo. One time. And I told Kendra, I was like, hey, real quick, before you release, your ebook comes out a little bit, you have time to fix that real quick. Done. But absolutely loved it. I'll just show it. Let me show it off.
Show it off.
I think Kendra also does. I'm not sure if Kendra does her own art as well.
Are we gonna sprint?
Yes, I'm sorry. I just want to show stuff off. Oh God, come back here. I'm sorry. I know we really derailed, but I needed to get that all off my chest. Here is Surviving Daybreak. Can we? I want to show this. Here we go. Come here. Here's the thing, right? This is our character. I love this character as well. It's a good baby. We don't forget about the dog in this one, by the way. It's great.
Every time I go through my draft, I'm like, where's Nuka? Where's Nuka?
Right? It's fantastic. I absolutely love it. It's coming out very soon. February 27th. Sorry, February 27th. $4.99.
There's a sequel?
There will be a sequel for Sherzies. Yeah.
Well, it says it's like Daybreak something of the
Colony.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's going to be more in the series. I don't know exactly because this is only book one. I need to ask Kendra next time I see her. I usually see her at other conventions. But it's just fantastic. The creatures that are made in this are just absolutely great. It won't let me put my review in yet. There's Kendra. So Kendra writes all these amazing books. So this is her D&D series that she also wrote. I haven't read it yet. And then this is the By Winged Chair that I read and absolutely loved. These are all the fairy tale retellings, but with main characters who are disabled. I read a bunch. I read this one. I read a few of her little novellas. It's fantastic. Okay. I'm sorry to everybody who needed to sprint, and we just totally did that. My bad. I needed to get it off my chest. I appreciate you all listening to me rant about that book.
Subtitle for the live stream, also a review.
Also a review, yes. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. We'll get going. Sorry. 13 and 2. I got a 15. You want to go more? Because we wasted so much time.
Start with 15 and we'll touch on.
Okay. Let me get our timer up here.
Yay!
Thanks
Found
for
your
everybody putting up.
reference. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Good.
Cool.
Okay, here we go. I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Okay, 5.
You need to finish reading your book, your audiobook.
2. Yeah. 1. Begin.
Go.
All right, we're back. Got a half hour left. I have a weird feeling that this book is going to end on a bad cliffhanger, but I don't know if I have enough motivation to read the next book. Because then I've heard other people say that the next books aren't as good as the first one.
Well, you did start a series, so at some point, you have to decide to DNF or to keep reading.
Of the series, yes.
Mm-hmm. I like both of these, but I need more context. But they'd sound nice. Nice and traumatic.
These kids keep hitting my air conditioning unit. It's annoying me.
Gotta love them. Shouldn't they be at home?
It's an anything sprint. You do whatever you want to do during these sprints.
Yep, I'm editing and writing, so.
It's a productivity sprint.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not at all satisfied. Sorry. Sorry, I have to do this little. Were you satisfied with this customer care thing? And it's like, no, because they still charged my card when they said they weren't going to and did not refund me.
Mm. Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So yeah. I don't know. Now I got all my rant out of my system. I don't have anything else to say now. I think I make people angry.
Boop, 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 boop. Oh, I mean, I don't think the author is ever gonna find it, so you're fine.
No, I don't think I made the author angry. I think I made people in the chat angry.
Yeah, we're adults. We can handle it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. All I was doing is updating this spreadsheet and making it better.
Make it better.
A lot of individual input of stuff on here.
Oopsie.
Mm-hmm. Oh, got it. Painting flowers.
Make pretty flowers.
Also, Maya, thank you for the follow on Twitch. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Woohoo!
Just noticed. I'm very bad about monitoring my Twitch, I will say.
Yep, we're both.
Try.
I'm on page 94. I want to get to 100 today.
All right.
That will be the most progress I've made all day. Which means I hit that. I've earned 2 hours of gameplay. Woo. Woo woo. Woo woo.
I need to read too. Oh, Ian, we're finally going to read it. We're going to read it, Ian.
Dun, 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 dun.
Ian's fault that I have this book.
Angels Before Men.
I don't know why.
No. I mean, if I published, you mean like we're not going to read and review a Wattpad story or something somebody is working on. We try it
it depends on the level of what I am asked. So like I mean I beta read for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm happy to do that. I don't when I'm beta reading, my feedback only goes to the author.
Yeah.
When I'm reviewing full books that are coming are either so this last book was an ARC.
Mm-hmm.
So we got advanced readers copies from the author to review to give early reviews.
Yeah, I gotta write that review.
I wrote mine. I feel bad, but I wrote mine.
I've had it open and
so that's why. So same with Surviving Daybreak. I received the ARC from the author. I can't review it though. It won't let me do it on Amazon and it's not on Goodreads yet. So I have to wait to actually review it. But I do beta read. I do alpha read. I'll even edit if you want, but you have to pay me for that. Like if an author wanted me to read their Wattpad story, I would read it. I would do it, but Wattpad's now charging, so I don't like that. But yeah, I read a lot of different stuff. I think the only thing is I don't really read are webcomics. But like if it becomes a physical copy of it, or the author sends me a full PDF of the full volume, then I'll read it. I don't like reading like the ones that are like updated a page every week. I can't keep up with it. It's not enough for me. I need the full thing to be able to be engaged with it. So yes, I have been beta reading Ian's book. I alpha read Hala's books. I have done it for a few other people's. I think you guys are my only two current ones. Well, now Ian's not current anymore because I finished Ian's. Who else? I do Fees when Fee writes. I do Fees. I've done Leora, but Leora also has not updated in a while. Yeah. As you can tell, I'm a very opinionated person, so yeah. But I'm also like very hyper aware of current literary issues in the world, so I'm a little bit like I can tell you like, hey, this is a bad thing. Don't put that in there. Let's make it better. So if you're concerned about certain things, I'm pretty aware of the climate of the literary world right now. Yeah, see the comments I left. Hala, whenever I get to a point where I've gotten my book into a position to read, you are more than welcome to beta read it.
Oh, I'm so ready. Well, I'm not ready, but glad you're not ready either. But yeah, we'll be ready at some point soon. Yeah. I mean, I'm honestly probably I have one more book that I've been requested to read, and it's 600 plus pages. So aside from that and finishing the Augustin series and maybe some audio, like once the audiobooks drop, I have a lot on hold, but none of them are dropping. I probably am gonna like shrink and close off from the world to finish this book, and then once this book is like with betas, then I can like flourish again.
Yep. It's weird it's not a writing year for me. It's all in editing and a reading year.
You wrote so stinking much last year.
Yeah.
So stinking much.
But now we try to publish. Which is funny that I'm such a harsh critic and stuff, but like somebody will probably hate what I write, so it's fine. I'm sure people will find a plentiful supply of problems in my own writing, and then they'll be like, who are you to criticize this crap when you write this shit? You know, that's out there. I don't claim to be the best writer in the whole world. Just put that out there. But I am a heavy critic. Now, I used to sugarcoat. I decided to stop sugarcoating because it doesn't help anyone when I do that. Let's see. Currently in the works of the third draft. Just started. Second chapter. We'll be looking for beta reader when I'm done. Had someone beta read the second draft. Even though they liked it, Percy felt the ending wasn't earned, so I restarted it. Feel that? Feel that?
So one person. One person said
it.
And that was
what's the tell us about the work. Let's hear what the genre, the plot, what you got going on.
Yeah.
That's why we're here. Doing this stuff.
Yeah. Because
it is the nature of the game. I think a lot lately too, because I've been watching a lot of reads with Rachel, and just the drama that she has to put up with when she's reviewing stuff is insane.
Yeah. Yep, but she is very
she's critical as well.
Yeah, she's critical, but I wanted to say like she knows who she is. She's very like secure in herself. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah.
So even if people
like insecure, it is. It's important to be kind and critique, but holding back honest thoughts doesn't help anybody. I think it's not necessary, like in critique, sure. In reviews, because the reviews are not meant for the author. Reviews are meant for other readers. And that's one of the big issues going on right now, especially for Reads with Rachel, is the authors coming and attacking or sending their minions to attack Rachel and like do a lot of very bad, very poor behavior stuff to her because of her honest opinion of the book. So that's a bad thing. Reviews are not for authors. When you have that's like your time to get a review and like feedback is in your beta stuff, is in your alphas, is in your critique partners. That's when you're getting feedback to improve and stuff. That's when it's time. After it, once you've published it, you don't get to clap back at any reviewers. You don't have that right anymore. It's up to them to interpret. And if they don't, agree with your vision of it, that's how your writing came across to them in their mind. So it's not your place to comment on anyone's reviews of your own book. Mm-hmm. You don't do that. And you also don't send your friends to do that either. I've seen that in the AuthorTube community, and that is not a good look. Don't do that. That's advice. But yeah. Cool. Reveal one of the major writing weaknesses, summaries. So give me a minute to conjure up. I think we all suffer from summaries. Summaries
are so hard. When it's your own work, you're like, okay, condense. What is this?
We all suffer from that. Oh, it's bad. I hate summarize. This is why the query process for me is going to be so problematic. I've written my query letter, but also you can't take my emotional support ellipses from me. I will pry them from your cold, dead hands, Ian. I love you, but sometimes a comma is what you want. Sometimes the ellipses was overkill. It's okay, because I do M dashes like crazy. That's my bane. I know my weaknesses. Actually, it's really funny. So, Hall, remember we were talking about crutch words a long time ago, and we know mine is nearly. I cannot see that word in any writing without going now, because it's my crutch word. But like I saw it in Surviving Daybreak, and I'm like, it makes sense, but no, here's something else. It looks good occasionally. But also the thing about the ellipses is it's meant to be the thought drifting. The purpose of the ellipses is a drifting thought. Sometimes the ellipses was used in context where it's not an ellipses is used. Just is definitely one of mine as well. I feel that.
Mhm.
I wrote a whole list. Where did my list go of all my crutch words? What did I do with them? I made checklists.
That long list. It's the story picked up.
Where's my checklist? I know I have one. I moved my desks around, so I don't remember where I put it all. Hold it. Is it in here? Because there's my writer manual thing. Where do I put it? I do have this fancy dancy emotion thesaurus now. This is what I got for Christmas. Have I used it? No. But if anyone needs a good thesaurus for stuff, this is great. But where did my checklist go? I forgot where I put them. Anyway, I listed a bunch of crutch words, and I go through my stuff and check off and try to decrease the amount. Like nearlies. But now I never use nearly anymore because of that. Yeah. I had a whole list of words to avoid while I was writing. Got two in my head about it, so I'm saving your copy edit. Yeah, that's what the copy edit stage is for. That's why. That's your copy edit, that's your line edit. That's when you use that stuff. I really don't know where oh wait. I found it. Crutch word list. I start with a count of how many I did in the beginning. Look, just and nearly are the top two. Well, sigh. Yeah. And then I do the final count on this side. That's my crutch word list. Yeah. Laugh, smile, grin, growl. If anybody is doing any spicy stuff, I highly encourage you to see how many times you've written growl. Actually, so, look, cute, really, very back, felt, it, dot, there, period, there. Almost, maybe, that, who, seem, any ing words, each, gaze, glance. Those are my... What?
You're the Sailor Moon expert. Was that whole thing when they were trying to take over, was that a realms? Or was it just the universe?
In Sailor Moon or in the Elemental's Guardian? What are you talking about?
In Sailor Moon.
That was the whole universe.
Okay. Okay, because I wasn't sure if it was universe or realms, because I kept thinking, was the Dark Ladies thing technically a different realm? I'm not.
Oh! You mean like Queen Beryl and stuff? Or no,
Yeah.
Dark Lady, like Chibiusa and stuff. Wait. There's so many. Which season?
But was there was it realms or was it just?
No, I think it's universe.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, first and sword is if the overall story and characters are enjoyable. That is true. Yeah. I wonder in Hisphacac, hold on, let me see. How many times do I use nearly in Hisphacac now? Not good. Oh God, I think my document's too big and it doesn't like finding things now in it. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Spaghetti-o.
Okay, so this book is 155,000 words, right? You want to know how many times I use nearly in it?
112.
No, way less.
Good. 75.
34.
Wow, you did so
I feel
good.
very, very good.
You were traumatized.
I was very traumatized. Okay, so it's a fantasy isekai. The story takes place at the end of what's called the Age of the Outsiders, where a flood of people get taken from Earth and transported to a world called Mornate and spread throughout its time. Two teenagers, is that Shay or Shy? Tell me the pronunciation. And Teresa, 13 and 16, have been in this world for 3 years and are traveling across the world to reach a city named Lesina. Sorry, I suddenly couldn't see anything. To make a home for themselves. They're tired of struggling and want just a little bit of peace.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, I have to read Pronounced shy. Okay, it is pronounced shy. My question to you, where does the name Shy come from? Age of the Outsiders. Sorry, I'm just like analyzing it myself now. Analyzing Braid is on. They want to make a home for themselves in Lucina. Okay. Why Lucina? It makes me have a lot of questions, which is actually good because, it's a summary. So I should be asking questions.
Mm-hmm.
I assume there is much more to it.
Interesting. So what happened to the other people? I mean, we're going to start asking questions. Be prepared.
Okay. I just want to, so that's names. He's also shy. All right. That's a little bit of a warning sign in my world in my opinion, when we're using names from other cultures that we don't know exactly. So just be wary of that, of why the character is called that, and like their background. It's like the Ferenc thing. I don't know why he was Hungarian. So just be aware. There's time to develop that for sure. And it's nice when you have a name that you like, but we need to make a little bit of sense in here, because seeing it spelt like that, and then you also use the term isekai, I'm immediately going, okay, so we're in an anime or we're in manga, but not necessarily, because then we have Teresa. But again, it's asking a lot of questions that I would like answers to.
Is Teresa also a Hebrewish name? Because the whole thing with a flood coming in.
Yeah.
It does have some biblical,
is that intentional?
Because that could be a tie-in.
It could be.
I read a really nice, The Black Crow Flies. I read it either right at the beginning of the year or right at the end of last year. And that had very, very strong Christian influence for the religion. And it was done so well.
Okay.
I was like, actually, tell me more, because
sorry, I'm
because you actually developed this world around this, and it just felt.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing that was out of place was that randomly in this fantasy world we had a character named Jedediah, and I was like, we had Blaze, we had Cecilia, we had all these different, very more fantasy-esque, or at least regular-ish names, and then you had Jedediah, and I was like, man, eventually they call him Jed, which I was like, we should have just stuck with Jed. But Jedediah has a very specific feel to it that just popped out for that specific character. So in certain instances when, just make it intentional. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Not that I should be
not biblical at all, apparently.
My main character's name is Rome, and the world is no longer attached to this world or a Rome. So we had to make it make sense and make it part of the language history. Why they gave him that name.
That's Hisvakak has a lot of Greek in it, because my characters come from Greek, and there's the Minotaur and stuff. So I have a lot of Greek stuff happening in this world.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, Snazzy's done with Poppy War. How'd you like it? I love Poppy War.
Mm-hmm.
It's intense.
Yeah.
Very.
But I would also say, Maya, feel free to have fun with your names, but just make, I guess, like I said, you don't, it doesn't have to be so super intentional, every single detail, but you don't want it to be anachronistic or just out of place.
CP puppy. Sorry, my mom just sent me this picture of Lucy. She's CP baby.
Sweet pea puppy, you're out of focus.
Oh.
Focus. Is a baby. Oh, where's
I'm
my
out of
baby?
focus now.
They're not in this room.
I will say, Snazzy, I love Dragon's Republic the most of the whole series. That's my favorite one. So, yeah. You must keep things coherent in terms of the world without cutting off creativity. Very good. I mean, can I just ask some questions? Like, why is there a flood of people getting taken from Earth? Why is that happening?
Mm-hmm. And also, what time of, so if you're using Earth like this universe Earth,
Mm-hmm. Time period?
This time period of this universe Earth. Well, but like whatever time period you, because if you choose to do it like in 1850 or whatever, I think, at least in regards to like names and what type of characters, if they all come from a same location, things weren't as diverse in earlier years as they are now.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends on how historically accurate you want to make it, but let's just say I've noticed some things where I'm like, that's not historically accurate. You're just playing the diversity card. Oh, well. So like some people noticed.
Yeah, where are your characters abducted from? Where did they come from in this world? And how do they know about Lucina? What is Lucina?
All of America, the melting pot of it all.
And yes, Dragon Republic is the second book. Yes, Burning God is still good. It just made me cry. So it's that. What I love. Okay, sorry. What I loved about Poppy War the most was how focused and how like everything is really dependent on the friendship between Rin and Catan. Because I love Catan so much. That's great. That's a 1.
You got Snake Eyes.
I got Snake Eyes.
And now you have to tell the people about Ashport. Your quick
shit.
Go.
Crap. Hold on. Oh, God. I forgot about this rule.
It's your turn. It's your turn.
All right. Here's the Ashport Archives. This is the proof copy of my prequel book. So Ashport Archives is my urban fantasy series. It is about a ragtag group of mythological misfits that band together to defeat outside forces because our main character of Levin is living in Japan at the time that her uncle passes away and leaves her as the United States. She comes back thinking she's just going to sell the house. And lo and behold, there are vampires and demons, including her best friend, who is now a vampire, and her other best friend, who's now dead, but it's fine because she's still hanging around. And they discover that her uncle probably had the phoenix, and so vampires and demons and stuff want inside of the house to try and find said phoenix, but they don't see a bird around, and they collect a bunch of other people who are different things, like a fairy who is a sylph, and an elf, and a werewolf, and a warlock, and they all band together and live together in this house, trying to defend each other while secrets unravel. It is a 4-book series. We have Search for the Phoenix, Memory of the Hoopoe, Cage of the Karula, Fall of the Asrana. This is a Nini Sina, and this is the prequel book, Rise of the Asrana, where you figure out where these big mythical creatures come from. And it was also based on ancient civilizations like Babylonian Sumerian cultures, which is where I pulled a lot of the mythology from, based on Phoenix mythology that I also kind of created while also using things that really exist in the world. And that's it. The end. There we go. So yeah, this is a proof copy because the prequel just came out, but it's on its way here. The rest of them should be here on Thursday.
Cool beans.
Yeah. That's what happens when Snake Eyes happens. Okay,
you know, of all the things I lost when I murdered my phone, I had a note of the best blurb I ever wrote for my series. And it was in the phone. It's gone forever. The best version.
I dropped the
unless I magically texted it to you, but I don't think I did.
I don't think you did.
I think I made a mistake and I did not share that with everybody.
That's sad.
I know. And it was literally the day of the author fair, and I was just practicing it out loud, and I was starting to write it down and fix things.
No, it looks better
And
though.
I did not update my Google Drive. I just left it in my notes, thinking, "Hey, I'll have this here all the time." And then God said no.
Okay.
Do it again.
Modern day Earth, 2000s, around 2013 or so. Not gonna lie, I'm still finding a reason as to why these people were taken from Earth. Okay, so we need to develop that.
We're in
Why they're taking is a big point of the story that comes later when the characters are older and have more control of their life situations. But it is important for your craft to know that. It's important for your world building. So even if you don't necessarily reveal that to your audience, it's important for you to know it as you're working through it all.
I'm seeing it.
And it might not even be necessary to have it be yours. You could just set it on this world, and it's just these characters trying to survive. You don't necessarily need the we were taken from another world. You could just keep it contained in a fantasy world.
Why didn't I send it and share it? Why am I not that person?
Okay, I'll roll again.
Right.
Please don't. That's an 8. Okay. And an 18.
Okay.
26.
26. Let's finish and get to 100. Let's get to 100.
100. 100. 100.
Book.
There we go. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
2.
Rebecca stared down at me. What are you doing down there? She sounded perfectly normal, but all I could think was that Rebecca Laughlin had been on the estate the night Drake had
And we're done. I literally have like 6 minutes left of this audiobook.
Ooh, 6 minutes.
It's giving me enough that maybe I'll go to the sequel. I don't know. I don't think it's going to do any more big reveals in the last 6 minutes of this one. So, hey, eating is getting stuff done. Okay, because it's important. So, yes, you did. Ian finished the V-Day art, waiting for late dinner to show up, and then it's my cover time! Yay. Ian, I'm tempted to just give you my tax return to pay for all the rest of the covers in the short stories. All right, Snazzy. Snazzy's tapping out. Have a 12-hour shift tomorrow. I feel ya. I have more dental work tomorrow.
Yuck.
Now the temporary crown comes off, and I go get the real one tomorrow. So it's going to be great. So I will not be streaming tomorrow. For surezies. I will be in pain. On my couch.
You can listen to Monty and I talk about Horizon.
What? Yeah,
Monty and I are going to talk about Horizon on her channel. So
I don't know what Horizon is.
It's the video game. You don't have to listen. You can just pop in.
I just don't know what it is. That's all.
That's okay. Robo Dinos.
Oh, okay.
Robo Dinos.
So I'm not busy. I'll see. I might have other, dental bills that I'll need to recover from. Okay. Oh, we're going to do a big Kickstarter, though, so that's fun. Cool. I think Tycho's about to do one as well. Did have a conversation in my head about characters and who they are and how they work together. Good. They're dynamic. Ended up getting a better idea of who they are. That's always great. I love to see it. Love the character builds. I'm a character-driven person when I'm reading, so that's always perfect.
Shoot. No.
What?
Gotta go back and delete a thing because we repeated it and this part is better. This part is better. This part before was just crap.
I'm all about characters. Character. I gotta schedule Japanese streams. I gotta teach Ian Japanese. That's part of the goal.
Yes.
You gotta do those.
Yes. Show.
That's the theme. I've decided.
Well, I'll almost have 2 more chapters for you to read. I'm gonna get through this chapter though.
Why is it this way? It doesn't make sense.
He didn't wake. That's rude. When he didn't wake, she mushed to his side, ready to dump water over him.
You hurt me with this.
Gozaimasu.
Ohio gozaimasu. Die!
Cute.
Let's get Hajime Mash faced.
That's fun too. We're talking about the second game primarily because that's the most recent one we've played, and it's a biggie. It's too biggie. I can color in my pages. Oh yeah, bro. We earned 3 hours. Polly Booney, where you
Hello.
been?
Hello. Ian, what food did you get? I'm curious. I was trying to eat all the food that I can't eat tomorrow. So I had that pizza, but I still have pizza left. Ian, come eat my pizza tomorrow for me. Yeah. Uh-oh. All the stuffs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so many notifications. Sorry, a million notifications. I have to figure out my best effort for this fort. Oh God, I have to read this in like. Okay, I have 3 days to read this, and then we get on to the readathon. So, just realized that. Woo! Sesame chicken.
Hawa. It says Nimen Hao.
You mean how?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How are you guys? Plural.
Is that you know? I don't know much Chinese.
I guess. Well, I'm in
Very little Mandarin in my brain.
So it could be. She didn't put a question mark, so it could just be "Hey guys," but I just assumed the inflection of a question. So hey,
Ni hao ma?
Nihomas, how are you?
That's what I thought. I'm like, wait, hold on. I do know how to say how are you.
Yeah.
Chinese is the only thing still open. How do you even pronounce that word? I had.
Ogir, oi.
I don't know that one. What
Oi.
cuisine is that? Where is that from? That is a new word to my.
Oi.
What am I trying to say here? My sheltered American life.
Ouch.
My uncultured American life. I don't even know that word. As we wait on the chat. There we go. Oh. Chinese Muslims. But how do you pronounce it? Tell me how to pronounce it correctly so I don't make an ass of myself.
Give us the phonetics.
Phonetics. Oh no, I know about. I forgot that's what they're called. I have heard about the labor camps though, and that I hate calming myself down. I've definitely seen news on that, and I don't like it at all. Okay, Xinjiang food. How do you Uyghurs? Uyghurs? That's how you pronounce it? Uyghur. Okay, wait. Like Uyghurs doesn't sound like that's right. Uyghur?
Uyghur.
I'm trying to make it sound natural out of my mouth.
In English, they usually say Uyghur, so it's
Uyghur.
Uyghur.
I guess I can see where people be like, oh, Uyghur. Uyghur. Is that right? Am I saying it right? Probably check me. I feel like most people these days, I still gotta ask, do you watch anime and or read manga? Not so much for me.
I've gotten back into watching it. I used to read and watch everything, and then I made graphic novels, so I didn't feel the need to consume. And then now people are like, you have to watch this. And I'm like, okay, gosh, it's on the list.
I don't remember. I think the last anime I watched was Yuri on Ice. I think that was the last one I fully watched. I haven't watched a lot in a long time. I used to be a big weeb. I just read my first manga in like 2 decades. I read the first book of The Ancient Magus Bride just last in December. Yeah. So, but I was never a manga reader. I don't connect well with, it doesn't translate in my brain very well, how pictures are on page to like action and movement and dialogue. I struggle with it. I don't know what kind of wrong with my brain, but yeah. So not so much, but I did used to watch a lot of anime. Not so much anymore. I do love myself a lot of J-dramas, but again, I've been very absent from my Japan side of my life. If you don't know, both Hala and I used to live in Japan. That's how we met. I lived there for 5 years in 3 prefectures, and we speak Japanese. But yeah, was Q ever truly a weeb? I definitely had my weeb phase. I definitely had one when I was much younger. Definitely was full weeb, like in, I want to say 7th and 8th grade was my peak weebness, because I was super into Sailor Moon, Shuggy Yugi, Magic Knight Rayearth. Like, those were my anime. Battle Athletes Victory. Oh, loved that one. Yeah, so I had a weeb phase. Yay, I did good pronunciation. I tried. It is.
Yay.
Chinese pronunciation is so particular.
Yes, they're.
It's kind of a mix of Central Asian food, Uzbek food, and North Chinese food. Very spicy. Very jealous. I'm planning to go to a language school for like 5 years now. Well, good news. I'll be hosting Japanese lessons on this channel sometime soon.
Soon. To
We'll
teach
be there.
people's hiragana, katakana, kanji.
Yeah, we're going to start with hiragana and katakana.
Yep.
Maybe some phrases, because we'll be talking. We be talking. And, yeah. And if you read my book, some of the characters are Japanese, and it's partially set in Japan, especially the second book with Jun, who's definitely not Matsumoto Jun. Somebody was just talking to me about Jun. I forget who was just like accusing me of, hey, is this Matsu Jun? And I'm like, technically it's Matsuyama Kenichi with Jun's name and Ken Watanabe's name. So yes and no. He's a mix of 3 of my favorite Japanese men. Yeah, we're fine. It's a normal thing.
Till his nature awakens. Ooh, love that line.
Maybe we pick a D&D character for you on stream. You can start playing. I have. So actually, the D&D thing has started to roll. But I am going to be playing with a group online soon. I have created the character, sort of. A very, very minor. I have not spent more time on it. But it will actually be with Spence and Kat from Cat Leo writing. Kat's joined it. Kat is also a D&D noob, so it's not just me. But yeah. So that goal is coming. Yeah. Yes, Fee does use they, them. Thank you. Yes. Fee used to use they, her, but now strictly does prefer to do they, them now. Nogizaka 46, I sure do. All of the 46s and the 48s. It's all good. It's a quick thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nogizaka 46. There's so many of them. AKB. Who else was out there? There were so many. Like every region had their own. Okay. Yes. I love Japanese music so much. So I know Sid, I know Schema Switch, I know Sheena Ringo, I know Deer and Gray. I don't know Crystal Lake. That's a different one. That's a different one for me. I have not heard of Crystal Lake, but all those other ones I have heard of. I actually just updated my music library because I'd been out of the scene for a while, and I just updated. So my favorites, like I have a lot of favorites. God, now I'm overwhelmed because I want to talk about them all. I love One OK Rock if you want some more rock stuff, but they do a lot in English now too because they're pretty popular in America. Man with a Mission, I really love. And more pop stuff, I love Miura Daichi. Miura Daichi is amazing. Go listen to his music. He's great. He's a triple threat. And obviously Arashi is my favorite boy band. Yeah. Oh, I don't know Hello Sleepwalkers. I don't. Like I said, I have been out of the scene for a while because for the last several years, I just haven't been listening to music. I've been listening to audiobooks, and that's all I listen to. But I was like, I should update because a lot of the music that I have from Japan is very old now. It's several, at least. I do know Maximum the Hormone. I know them. Yeah. I definitely have. I have a very wide, like, a long, big folders on my computer of all these bands. I used to do a ranking because there's the ranking, like how we have the billboards. Japan has Oricon chart, and I used to rank the Oricons, all the Oricon singles every month in Japan. I used to do that. You can still find. Oh, well, maybe you can't actually because I think copyright stuff. But my Spotify, I have playlists of all of them. Yeah, you like Maximum the Hormone too? Oh my gosh. What weebs. But yeah. Japanese music. That's actually Japanese music is one of the ways to get better at pronunciation is singing along with that music. That's how I learned and how I got pretty good along with mimicking Japanese dramas. Not anime, mimic the dramas. Because they'll speak a little bit more naturally on dramas than they will in anime. Yeah. I'm more of the pop side of things in Japanese music, though, less so the rock. However, I did go to a Vamps concert. I met Bees on accident in Akita because I was guest appearing in a English class thing, and Bees was in the same building preparing for their concert, so I got to meet them. Yeah. I actually found some friends who like J-rock metal. I had the impression metal wasn't quite. Metal's not quite my thing, but certain songs I do like. Yeah, they do get heavy. I think in my files I might only have one or two of their actual songs. Let me check my folders. Hold on, I have to open the external hard drive, and it takes a moment.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I'm not huge into metal. I like some J-rock, but it depends. Never a big fan of Vamps, but I really like Hyde and Lark and Ciel. So yeah, yes to all of that. Vamps, the only reason I went to Vamps is because a friend of mine got tickets and invited me to go with them. Music.
I helped someone go to a concert. I don't remember what it was.
Scroll to the end.
Was the Vamps concert in Nagoya?
Yeah, I literally have two. No, where was it? I think it was in Nagoya.
I wonder if you went to the same one that I took my friend to because she needed help getting.
That'd be so funny if we went to the same concert.
I didn't go. I literally was the escort.
Well, I mean, we'd still have been there. I have a video on it. There is a video. I, of course, vlogged it. Yeah, I have two songs by Maximum the Hormone. I have F and Tsume 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 are the two songs that I have of Maximum the Hormone.
And Koi no Mega Lover and
Gilgamesh, yeah.
Bikini Sports Punch.
Do you remember when I was trying to show you the band Spirit Box and having you play some of their songs? They have a good mix of heavy and more poppy stuff. I'm sure if you like them. I don't remember, so I will have to remember. I don't think I outright hated it, because otherwise I would have had a bit of more visceral reaction to that. Who's some of my, gosh, I literally have 569 folders, and each folder is a different band in here. So I've got a lot. I have a lot of Japanese music. I don't remember it, but yeah, that's what I have. I probably got it because of an Oricon. That's probably what happened, because I would download all the Oricon top 20. No, the top 50. I would download the top 50 and I would make a top 20. That's probably why I have them. But yeah. Yeah. That's what I have. I have a lot of stuff I don't know why I have. I've got Acid Black Cherry. I do know I like Acid Black Cherry. I have 32 of their songs.
It sounds like a bubbly drink that would be like
It's not.
kind of good.
Yeah. I listen to like 40 of NPH songs, and a couple faves of mine being Chew 2, The Beam, and Alien. I think I do know some of those songs. I think I know Alien. Yeah, Acid Black Cherry! Formally, I have it. What's the song? Gaia is the song by, oh God, because the lead singer used to be in this band, and now I can't remember what it's called. My sister introduced me to them. Glay. Is it Glay? Is it? No, not Glay. Is it Glay? Am I crazy? Not Glay, but I have Glay. God dang it. Who did Gaia? Does it start with an F? That's all my favorite. I have so many. Who sang Jeanne d'Arc? Oh my God, I know it's Jeanne d'Arc. The lead singer from Jeanne d'Arc moved into Acid Black Cherry. That's how I know that. Sorry. It's been a while since I've been in these folders.
Not long enough.
Yeah.
You remember things.
I know. I introduced you to Doberman Infinity.
Oh, yeah.
They're awesome. They're not fully rock, though. They're a little bit between. But they're good fun. Yeah. I have a lot of stuff. Yeah, guys, I have so much music. I have so much Japanese music on this hard drive. Oh. And what I really love also is that I recognize, because I haven't touched these folders in a while, a lot of these also are K-pop that I didn't know were K-pop, because all the K-pop bands release singles in Japanese, and I only ever heard them in Japanese. So, like, I thought Toho Shinki was Japanese for the longest time. People may not know this, but Q is a maven of Japanese music. I'm a maven or a haven. I have a lot. I have so much. Anyway, do we need another final sprint for the night, because it's 9 o'clock here.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm almost done with this chapter. I'm a page away, so it doesn't matter to me either way.
Okay. I mean, I can still keep talking Japanese music. I'm happy to.
As long as I get to hear your verbal thoughts on what you've read so far when we are off screen.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I mean, you saw my notes.
I know, but I want to hear you.
You want me to read my notes aloud to you?
No. I have pointed questions.
Oh, some visual K. Oh, don't even get. I have the Gazette. And I know that.
Chainring is so good.
We know the visual case. Oh, who's the, oh my God, the one my friend introduced me to. God, it's been so long. But they have a weird ass song. What the hell is it? Oh my God.
Mhm.
Oh, this is going to drive me insane. I know the melody and I can't figure out the lyrics. Oh my God, help me out, somebody. What's it called? Something time is in that lyric. It's nonsense English too. Oh God.
I think it has to be
Something labu dabu. The time is labu dabu. Something like that. Fuck. Where's June when I need her? Oh, I have baby metal too. I don't know. I like baby metal. If you want some other good metal stuff. I used to have their fucking poster too. I feel like such a fake fan. But they're a Visual K band. I'm gonna go insane looking at all these folders. No, it's not. It's not those. God dang it. I'm so annoyed at myself. I'm gonna find it. Don't worry. No one panic. I will find it. What are you? No, you're not that. Well, there's Dawn Dark. It's such a nonsense song, too, but I love it. My friend and I used to sing it in the car constantly. I'm going to find it. I'm in the case. I just got to catty pum you.
Kira Kira.
Oh my God, what are you called? There's my Mutadeich. There's Muck.
Look.
Oh my God, I'm going to go insane if I've already passed it and I didn't realize it. Oh my God. I don't know Bradio. I feel like I've passed it. I'm in the S's right now. Unless they are one. Wait. Sim? No. Sim? No.
Transition. You're hiding.
Sug! That's who it is! Sug! Oh my God. Pastel Horror Yum Yum Show. That's the song. Pasuteru Hoda is Yamu Yamu. That's what the fucking song is. Pastel Horror Yum Yum Show. God, that song is so weird, but I love it. Hey, you know Sug. That's who it is. I have not heard Bring Me the Horizons collab with Baby Metal. I have not. Oh my God. I'm so glad I figured that out. That was going to kill me. I have a lot of Sug's music. I have 53 of their songs. But Pastel Horror Yum Yum Show was the very first one I ever heard because my friend June showed me it. There you go. I can have my weed card back. We're fine. That I have not. I have not at all. Wanted so bad to sound like you from Deer and Gray. Like I said, I've been very out of the scene for a long time. But yeah. Gosh, so much. It's funny. It's a very eclectic mix as you go through what I have here. Like, I even have some freaking Enka in here, so, you know. It's weird. I love how I have two different Tegomas folders, though, because I spelled one as Tegomasu and Tegomas on accident, apparently. I mean, just looking at these, I have the Backhorn, and then I have the Flowers, and then I have the Gazette, and then I have Gospelers, and then I have the Hiatus, and then I have the Kicks, and then I have the Nabs, and then I have the Pillows, and then I have the Rampage from Exile Tribe, and then the second from Exile Tribe, and then Shikitonin, and then the Stand-Up, and then we, like, that's a very weird, like, amalgamation of different Japanese music all right there. So, yeah. Now I just want to listen to the Pastel Horror Yum Yum show. I don't know Unlucky Morpheus. Unfortunately. I just want to play you guys the Pastel Horror Yum Yum stuff. Hold on. Without getting blocked on YouTube. Hold on. One, go to the thing. There it is. I'm sorry. Oh, man, it's been forever. Forever. I'm fine. I'm a normal person. Did I mention that yet today? Just in case anyone forgot that I'm a normal person. Because I am. Normal human being.
Mm-hmm. So normal.
I criticize books to a normal level. And I listen to normal music. And do normal things. Yep. I blew this guy's mind the other day because he asked, on Super Bowl day, what I did. I'm like, I watched the most important game of the year. And he's like, oh, you watched the Super Bowl? I'm like, no, I watched Puppy Bowl. One. He's like, oh. And I'm like, I'm not really into football. He's like, oh, but you at least watch the halftime show. And I'm like, no. He's like, but Rihanna. And I'm like, I literally know one Rihanna song, and that's only because of Tom Holland. That's it. And he just could not comprehend me not participating in
the American dream
culture. I'm just not into football or Rihanna or most popular music in America right now.
Oh, yeah, we got it. We got it. Finish chapter 8.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Could use maybe some smoother transitions, but we'll come back to it.
Okay. Well, it's 9 o'clock. I think I will finish this audiobook and start reading this baby tonight before I go to bed.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Work in the morning and get my teeth done at 1 p.m.
Yeah.
So pray for me.
Praying.
Recently past where I found myself drifting away from metal and learning more towards indie folks, jazz fusion like Sid's old stuff, and more poppy orchestra stuff like Kanen Wakashima! I love Kanen Wakashima! Oh man, we would get along so great. Oh, yes, absolutely. I have a folder for Kanon. Yeah. Okay. All right. I think that's it for tonight.
Yeah, that's a good bit.
Good bit.
Tundra, can you not trip? Why are you stuck? You spatial awareness. Yes, put your leg down. Okay, is your other foot stuck? Spatial awareness is dog leg. Spatial
snowing?
awareness.
We're supposed
All
to
right.
get a winter storm as well tonight, so
Thank
that's super
you.
fun.
We're
Cool.
getting there. We're at page
Oh
105.
yeah, we're snowing now.
So we're a quarter of the way through the book. Ew, that's scary. Need to do a lot.
Yeah. Kill the Joker. Shame isn't much more popular. Gotcha. It is hard to find song translations. I got you. What song you want translated, I'll do it. Cool. Anytime before like noon, because that's when I have to go to my dental appointment. But I start work at usually around 7 a.m. So anytime then, you can come by. Bring the book and take my pizza.
Book.
Yes. You can also have the rest of my funfetti gluten-free cake I made the other day. Enjoy. Cool. All right. I'm going to sign off. Thanks for watching. Stick around. I'll have new video on Friday and all that jazz.
Yeah.
And stream as well then. No, maybe. I don't know. Readathon's happening this week. So you might find me under a kitchen table this week. We'll see. Cool. Bye.